Hello and welcome to NDTV. I'm Rohit, Khilnani. Joining me is this dream team, Shonali Bose, Nilesh Maniyar. Thank you so much for your time. You guys are the dream team. My first question to you, Shonali, is that what is the secret of this success of this team?
Gosh. Well, it's really Nilesh's brilliance, I feel. That's what it is. Sometimes you find somebody who enhances your own talent.
Right.
So I made my first film, Ammu, all by myself.
Right.
And then after that, we met and we decided to work on Margarita with a Straw. And, first we were only to co-write. And he creatively produced Margarita with a Straw. But his on-set, everything was so amazing that really the film, he took it to another level with what he brought in as a director, and that's where he co-directed it.
But if I go back, I think the secret also is to do with the kind of stories we want to tell.
Right.
I think where we come together, it's not necessarily gender biased, but the stories till now have been women's stories.
Yes.
And it so happens that the films that I want to direct also next, I mean, the protagonist is a woman. So it's just, I think it's the kind of stories that we kind of come together on makes it a dream team.
Right. She spoke about you. You tell me about her. She has a kind of filmmaking which has a lot of sensitivity, whatever the subject may be every time. How is it working with her?
No, absolutely inspirational because, it just doesn't start with Margaret with Straw. I think I was an engineering student when I saw Ammu in Pune International Film Festival. And like the art of telling gut-wrenching, mind-bending stories so simply. That's where I think I just love her work.
Right. Shonali, till now we have really enjoyed your work. What kind of a filmmaker, it's a big question, what kind of a filmmaker you want to be known for?
Wow. For me, I always would want that there's some takeaway from any of my films. I hate that I don't like that, am I preaching? Like I would not want that this is a message. I hate message-oriented films. It should be really buried in a story or film. Obviously you have an intent. But I would just want that can I touch your heart in some way or the other? Can I make you think and question? If I can make you think, even if you don't like my film, could I, challenge you to question something that you may not have occurred to you? That's what I would like.
Right, for a filmmaker who can independently make her own movies, how does being a part of an anthology with other filmmakers help you? Does it excite you?
Totally. I mean, also intimidate me. So Modern Love also, so Ishita and Rongita Nandi, it was it's their baby, it was their idea. I think it's a fabulous idea to internationalize love, right? Because this whole thing that this is a story, a real story, a blog set in New York, that you are going to now put in another country.
Right.
So then Nilesh and other writers of the 6 films are adapting a real person's story in a completely different country to our culture and country, right? That itself is exciting to me.
Right.
Because you can internationalize the very same scenario and bring it to your nuances, number one. Number two, I loved the first season of Modern Love, I loved it. And so to be able to do that anthology in our own country. And then when I heard like Hansal, Vishal, these are the kind of directors, I was very excited. At the time when I was asked, Vishal was already on board. And I was very happy because I've always looked up to Vishal. So the others hadn't been locked yet. So for me, just the fact that I'm going to be in an anthology that Vishal is also in, that was really exciting. So intimidation. We were like really cute like children when we were the first to shoot. And all my HODs, the heads of department, were like, Shonali, hope you're competitive. I said, completely. I was first bencher, first in class always. It's like, we have to come first. So that's just a running joke. But the point is, that the thing is, Rohit, you are going to be compared when you're in an anthology compared to a film. So therefore it is intimidating because people will watch and say, iska. So therefore you feel much more pressure and more nervous than when you're just doing your own film.
Right, absolutely.
Look, I must add to this that, the fact that this is an anthology, but from Modern Love US season, but the stories are fresh, the blogs are fresh. It's not like, the same blog which is being used in Modern Love season 1 in US is being used here. So that's also the exciting part of it.
How do you Indianize it? Or what is same? What do you have to keep in mind so that it's the same theme and what is different?
I think what I've done essentially is taken the essence of the story and feeling, but whether it is the context, it is the culture, It is where the class that the person comes from, and also make it specific to the city we are in.
Right.
You know, Manhattan is an amazing city, but so is Bombay. So Mumbai has its own challenges. Mumbai has its own culture. So I think that has to come through.
Right.
You know. So, yeah, I guess.
Right. You know, there's a great similarity between New York and Mumbai. Now that you're here, tell me, what is it about Mumbai, this city of dreams, that attracts so many stories and people across the globe love watching it?
I can't answer generally. I'll answer for myself.
Please,
because for me, I was a child in Bombay, and then I've come back now as a filmmaker after living 30 years in the US.
Wow.
And it's because I'm in love with Bombay that I can't go back. But because I grew up in Calcutta and Bombay, when I went to New York City, I had never left India. And the first city I ever went to was New York. Manhattan.
Right.
And I remember I was at Columbia University for a PhD, and the other people who came from other parts of America, they were, you know, like scared, and they were like, so when you go in the subway, don't look anybody in the eye. And they were really nervous to go out, and they found it overwhelming.
Right.
Coming from Bombay and Calcutta, I stood in Manhattan, and I was just like, I am home.
Wow. Yeah.
So that same buzz,
Right.
that same energy, you know, we are not intimidated by lots of people.
Yeah.
And New York is like that,
It
right?
is,
And
right.
international cities, that's what I love about New York, that is international. People from all over the globe are there.
Right.
And Bombay is the most cosmopolitan city in our country, right?
Right.
And you know, so that's what I love about it.
Right. Nilesh, where does one start? Like when you're told you have to make this and you all decide that we are going to be a part of it, where do you start?
Specific to our story,
Yes.
I think I started with the most iconic bridge in our city called the Worli Bandra ceiling.
Right.
The
Wow.
image of that ceiling and what it represents actually was my starting point.
Okay.
I guess I can't say more. You know?
Sure, yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah, that's
You'll
where
give
I
away
started.
the story.
Right,
Yeah.
of course. Right, and you know, to you're the filmmaker of this, what did you want to keep the same as a theme, and what will be different?
Not the theme, you mean from the
Yeah,
original
from the
blog?
original, right.
The original blog? See, I didn't bother with now, once I've been given my script,
Okay.
I go by what the material is in front of me, and the
Right.
script is gold for me. I was given a golden script. In fact, it was the most loved script, and everybody was gaga about Nilesh's script. Cast came on board, crew, Amazon Prime International,
Yes.
Amazon Prime Video here, Pritish Nandi Communications, everybody. So I was so scared, Rohit. I was like, oh my God. So now I'm solo directing after 2 films where Nilesh has helped me really show that, wow, you know, what amazing films. And now I'm solo directing without him, because I said, never mind if I fail. I just need to get back my self-esteem and self-confidence that can I direct without you?
Right.
So you don't direct, but then everybody was gaga about the script. So I think for me, I was just focused on that this script that I've been given, can I do justice to it?
Right.
Which you won't know till you see it. I also don't know.
Right, so these are 2 individuals based in Mumbai, but from Kashmir. We have seen bits in the trailer, which everybody has already seen. What can you tell me at this stage about the casting of it? You know, how did you go about thinking that these are the 2 people I want?
So Fatima Sana Shaikh, you know, I loved her in, you know, I've seen her in Dangal. Both of us actually. I always discuss with Nilesh also.
Okay.
Like you know, we've seen her work, and because Nilesh wrote a character, he was very keen always that it be a migrant who's from a distant part of India, you know, so that the vulnerability comes through, and I think for that reason, like Fatima was absolutely spot on, suggested by Rongita and Ishita, I must say, give them credit for coming up with the right thing, and then I jumped at it, and you know, she jumped at the script, she read the script, said yes immediately, and she really has worked for the character, got into the skin of the character, blown us away. Bhupender Jadawat, a new find by casting director Gautam Kishan Chandani, who's a wonderful casting guy, and his audition just blew me away.
Wow.
So he had to audition. I'd never seen his work. He's in class of 83 actually, but I had not seen it. He is in class of 83. And I loved his audition. I believe he spent 2.5 hours, you know, working on the script and understanding the layers to do that audition.
Right. And you know, once the casting was done, what did you think of Fatima's work? You know, that we just see glimpses in the trailer, but she has such ups and downs, and she breaks free on, you know, on that, on a cycle. What is she like when, you know, what did you feel?
You know, I was personally, initially, I was like, maybe this role should always be done by, I don't know if stars can pull off with such authenticity and nuances, you know. And when Fatima came on board, and the way I saw her working on a dialect for 1 month, like her questions, her queries, like I've never seen an actor go on a tech recce, on a scout of locations with a director, going and sitting in slum, observing, doing everything that she wanted. Like it was just a dream team.
Right.
So, and that has translated on screen. You know, like we all are such proud and just a joyous team of what has come out of it.
Right.
So she really got in the skin.
Right. How often does this happen that an actor is as involved as, you know, coming to locations?
This has never happened. See, we do, I mean, she asked me, and maybe this is what she did on Dangal, and she has that experience. So she said, you know, it's very beneficial to me. I said, you know, we won't be able to give you the attention or anything because she's also a star, and tech rec, like you're totally absorbed in the tech of it with your, you know, technicians and your HODs, etc. But she said, please, 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 and she came. Rohit, it just was so, I want to always request my actors, it was so useful because, see, one of the things we do in tech rec is also we have our ADs usually doing it where you block. So because you want to start sort of figuring out where the lights are going to be placed, right? So that on the day off, you're not wasting time. So for that, you need to know where will the actors be. So usually then you're doing that blocking with stand-ins, with your preconceived notions. Then the actors on the day of set, they could totally change the blocking. Some directors may not allow it. I always do because I want that my actors be comfortable with their movement. I can't go by the technical thing that no, now the light is set for this, right? But then you save a lot of time, hours you save. So we had her on tech, so then it was amazing that we could do all our blocking, all our shots, so that because we only had 8 days to shoot this, which is very, very tight in mad locations of Bombay like BKC flyover, Nana Chowk, things like that. That helped us hugely.
Right. Are you, you know, what do you have to say about the professionalism of this younger generation and what they put in? Does this amaze you?
So I have, now I don't know, like Farhan and all, like that's my last actor also. There's an age gap, you know, so, you know, and Gulzar Saab I just worked with, like he's just so brilliant and amazing. So I'll go by the people I've worked with who are old and also, you know, middle in there and then really young in their 20s like Fatima. And I've had amazing like commitment, dedication in every single film I've done of everybody I've worked with, which I'm really like so grateful.
Amazing. Lastly, you know, there are other stories as well, and you said people will choose which one they like, which one there will be a race between you all. What are the films that you are looking forward to watching in this anthology? You both,
Well, really, I mean, all actually, you know, I mean, I think they're all interesting directors. We haven't seen anything. We've not even read anybody's script. So we are going to, there's going to be a premiere that I'm very excited about on May 11th, on the 11th, that we all get to see each other.
You didn't want to keep a tab on what others are doing?
We all just like Hansel, I met Hansel's like, oh, I was trying to find out, you know.
I'm definitely more excited to, I'm looking forward to Vishal sir's work because I've assisted him on Kamine. I was an assistant director on Kamine, so I'm now written something that is coming in the same anthology as him. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, what he's done.
Okay, she said if you were to forward and watch that one first, that will be Vishal's?
Absolutely. I mean, just biased about it, the fact that I've worked with him. So it just feels like, okay, I'm just watching someone like I have to watch his first.
Great. Thank you so much to both of you for entertaining us for years and really looking forward to this one. Hope this does very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you. Thank you so much.